All right. I think we're live. I'm not real sure, 100% sure. I'm live somewhere. There's some stream happening somewhere. And if it's getting to you, well, thank you. I'm glad you're here. I'm just trying to say good morning. This concept, hey, we're all remote. Um, I am trying to stream more. And one of the things that I thought might be cool, I worked on with my friend, or the concept of with my friend Icon. I want to just like have a stand up. Hey, here's what I'm going to be working on today. What are you working on today? Let you know that I'm going to be at my desk. I'm going to be working. And if you've got questions, my name is Deshaun, and I'm here to help, especially if it's around Spring or Kubernetes or Raspberry Pis. Like these are kind of where I spend a lot of time. That's it. I just wanted to say good morning. I hope that you're going to have a good day. It's Friday, right? It's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. That's what my calendar says. Um, Excuse me. That's it. I just want to say good morning. What's on my day to day? I've got some meetings. I'm going to talk to customers about all the awesome things that come with Spring Boot 3.1.5. Get on the latest and greatest. I'll talk about how to upgrade. And look at this, Thomas. Good morning. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm doing a stand up. I'm going to try this idea of like, hey, here's what I'm getting into today. The other thing I'm going to get into is, let's see if I can share a screen, is there's a project called, look at this, everybody, look at this. Oh, I'm so happy that you guys are here. I'm going to share my screen. And this is just like what I'm getting into today. Maelstrom, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to show you guys what I'm getting into, what I've seen. It's Friday. But Fridays are fun days. I'll deploy to production on Friday. Monday, Spring State Machine came out. And this is the project I'm going to be kind of digging into today. Spring State Machine. I'm going to dig into this. And recently we talked about Spring Cloud or Spring Modulus. These are what I'm getting into today. Basically, I've got a project that I did in Spring, but it was microservices. I'm gonna kind of redo that project. I'm gonna put it into a modulus, and I'm gonna see like the differences. I want to have something to compare to. I want to get a project to production using Spring Modulus, and then I'm also going to look at Spring State Machine. It had a milestone release on Monday, and yeah, that's it. So wait, Spring Modulus has a RC release. Spring Modulus has an RC release today, so that's even more exciting. Look at this. So Spring 3.2 RC2 came out yesterday. Like there's so much stuff happening. So this is what I'm doing. What are you working on today? That's it. That's all I'm doing here. It's like, what are you working on? What's happening? And yeah, I don't have any other plan than this. This is what I'm doing. So we'll see if this is a good idea. But it's just a chance to open up for questions. I've got lots of time today, and this is what I'm going to be doing. But I didn't really have anything planned to do and to show. Um, I could, but I didn't plan anything. I'm testing out what would this look like if I did this daily or frequently as just a little stand up. What do you think? Can you give an overview of the state machine? I think I could. Like let's go and dig in. Uh, this idea, like state machines, are something that we did in school. Oh, look at this. And Thomas said, "Hey, I found an issue with Spring Live Reload. Commented on the Spring Boot issue on it. Thank you. It's contributions like that that keep this ecosystem moving forward. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. You should. I know you're in my Discord. You should drop a link. I want to find out. I want to see more. But let's go back here. Like, what is the state machine? Here's the first thing. It's something that I haven't looked at in years. I didn't realize that it was still moving forward. So when I saw on the calendar that it was, like, it kind of got me excited. So I want to take it for a spin. Uh, the other thing is like there's so much. The Spring team comes up with so much stuff. They deliver so much stuff. If this is out there, it's being used. It's for a reason. So the idea that I've got certain states of systems or projects, this is in my head. I haven't gone deep on it, but this is in my head. The idea like, hey, I've got a door back there. If my door is closed, then maybe my lights should be on. If the door is open, maybe my camera should be off, or whatever it is. If you got these certain states that your system needs to be in, this state machine can say, hey, I'm in this state, or I'm transitioning to this other state. That's the idea. And it takes me way back to college. Like the state machine was, it was kind of a fundamental thing of my education. And I'm trying to figure out a cool project to take it forward on. So as I learn more, maybe that's something as it gets closer to G8, maybe that's something that we do an episode on. But like right now, it's just a way to implement a state machine. I can create events that I'm going to trigger on. I can create the different states that I'm going to be in, and I can configure how those things interact. That's it. So I got state 1, 2, and 3. How do I get from state 1 to 2? Maybe there's an event called 1 to 2, and when that event fires, then I transition from state 1 to 2. But you can make it more complex, but that's kind of the fundamentals: is configure how things are transitioning, configuring the events, and configuring the different states and how you're going to switch between the two. And you can do things like lock, and you can have more complex logic. I want to get into it, so I'm really just taking it for a spin, and that's what I'm going to be digging into today. So if you are interested, if you've got time, I will absolutely send you an invite. I believe you're on my Discord as well. I'll send you an invite. If you're not on my Discord, I think you are. Shoot me a message on somewhere, Twitter or email, and I will get you an invite. And we could pair. Like, I'm happy to do this with just you and I, and let's dig into it and do a project. I know you got fun stuff cooking, so let's go. Let's try it if you're interested. Thank you, Thomas, for tagging me on Discord. This is what we're doing. I think, what else is happening? There are some interesting projects. So I went over here and I went into the reference doc. I'm just digging in. This isn't fancy, right? Here's the examples. Turnstile. The one that poked out, that jumped out at me, was this data multi-persist. The data multi-persist sample is, there's a little typo there, is an extension of two other JPA config and data persist. We still keep machine config in a database and persist into a database. However, this time we also have a machine that contains two orthogonal regions to show how those are persisted independently. The sample also uses an embedded. So what I'm thinking of is I could have like this dual write situation. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep reading. The sample uses Spring State Machine Autoconfigure, which by default autoconfigures the repositories and entity classes needed for JPA. Thus, you need only Spring Boot application. The following example shows the application class. Take a look. Jump in. Let's go and figure this out. This is of the examples, this is the one that jumped out. I think this is maybe one that I kind of lean into when I think of state machines. Like, hey, if I see this, then do this. If I see this, I should be in this state. I should be transitioning to this state. So because I have all of these Raspberry Pis behind me, I feel like maybe there's something fun that I could be doing. But yeah, I need to dig in more. And what I need to do is I really need to go and do a search on GitHub and find out how are people using it and see where it's being used. It's a pattern that I don't really have in my tool belt. I haven't used it in my day-to-day. So I'm trying to learn more, and this is how I'm going to do it. So it would be wonderful to have you join me on that. So I'm going to jump back to this multi-persist. I just want to peek and see if I can understand if I can glean what's happening. So my Spring Boot application starts the same way. That's another data-driven samples. We create a state machine runtime persister. Okay, so we're going to keep track of what state I'm in. State machine service makes it easier to work with machines. The following shows how to create such a bean. Okay, we use JSON data to import. Okay, so I think what this is saying is I have multiple databases deciding on the state. So it's a distributed state machine. We use JSON data to import the config. The following sample creates bean. Okay, that's good. How do we get a repository state machine model factory? So state repository, transition repository. Remember, how are we going to go from state to state machine runtime persister? Okay, where do we keep that state? We're going to configure, and then we have a model factory. So now you run the sample. So choose the machine. So if I hit data JPA multiplication, if I hit machine 2 and I send event 1, then something happens. Cool. So then I get this machine context. Machine. So the machine named 1 is a simple flat machine where S1, S2, S3 are transitioned by events E1, E2, E3. Okay. So it's a multiple system where, hey, I've got triggers that are affecting multiple systems and I need them, like when this event happens or this transition happens, I need to be in this state. So yeah, there's something cool here. Regions have their own context with their own IDs. The actual ID is postfix with hashtag and the region ID. Okay. Okay. Interesting. That's something that I'm going to look into. I've got a bunch of stuff around. We'll figure out a cool project, but I'm just going to look for one that I can do and I can understand and try. That's it. That's what I have planned. So today I'm going to work on this Spring Modulith example, and that's going to be Barbecue Wednesday, where I've set this up as microservices. And I'm going to take that example and I'm going to squish it into one. I don't use it a lot. So let me see. The idea of, in my head, startup should start with a modulith that we can then break apart as we advance and as we need to scale things independently. So I want to just practice that. That's what I'm going to do. That's the example. And that's my alarm that I need to get ready for my next meeting. So it's a little 11, 12 minutes quick stream. I think this is something I could do. Ask some questions. If you've got questions, as always, reach out. It doesn't have to be on a live stream. Reach out. You've got my email. You have Twitter. I'm on Mastodon. Everything can be found. All my links can be found here. All the stuff and even my calendar. You can go grab time on my calendar, just like this. So you have access. Reach out and have a good day. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.